Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Um, I guess that's our main intro, I think, right? This is Cookie Monster FL here for Le Mans once again. We're doing something pretty much off the cuff and doing it live as we possibly can get, as is customary with the mods of WEC. So if there are any technical difficulties, I apologize, but you're going to have to bear with it because I just don't have time right now. So this is going to be, now it's going to be an annual thing, I guess. We're doing, it's about an hour coverage. We'll just kind of tailor off once the main feed comes on. Usually, I think last year that was even within the last 15 minutes, which is kind of strange. I thought they were going to promote it a little bit more previous coverage, but is what it is. So we'll just merge off when they go online. But this is just kind of to help you guys out with just anything else that you're looking for in terms of any information from our WCR community, from promoting that kind of stuff. So the main stuff, especially, will be streams this year. Like streams just seem to be the thing, which I'm completely fine with. That's great. So, but and we'll let you know about any additional contests or anything like that. We've got a few planned, and I know we've been kind of mentioning them in podcasts and other stuff as well. But might as well get all that news out to you guys. So, and then obviously we're streaming straight to YouTube this time. So, everything be damned that it's not actually, we're not going to get removed. Fingers crossed. But and we're skimming IRC too. So, you guys have any shout outs or questions, feel free to ask. We'll be monitoring them as well. But you may hear some other voices besides my own. We have a couple other Reddit users. One a mod, a lot of safety car, our latest mod. Aussie. So there you go. I think it's evening over there in Aussie land. So if you do hear him jump in or comment or, say hi. And then we also have Chris Washer, 97 from the great state of Michigan, I think, right? It's one of them. Somewhere over there. So we have a couple Americans and an Aussie right now. So we'll see if we can get any other mods to join in as well for this little chat. But outside of that, hello, other guys, if anyone is there right now. How are both of you guys doing?
I'm doing relatively good.
It's about as nervously excited as you possibly can get for Le Mans. Yeah, that's pretty much how I am. So less than an hour to go, guys, before the start, and we're really, really excited. So quickly, though, wanted to just pivot. Oh, yes, thanks, Banana. Okay, fine. So it is very late at night. I'll take that then. Of course, I'd actually cut that off. That's perfect. Okay, so, and actually I'm going to have to move this shit. I'm trying to get up some of the BOP hits from yesterday for GTE Pro. And so obviously that did strike a slight bit chord with everybody. Thoughts on it? I mean, I try to make myself as clear as I could in the chat room or in the comment section of this. I'm sorry, I'm just literally tired. I did not get much sleep. But going over that, especially anything with BOP related, regardless if it's Corvette, Ford, Ferrari, any of them, Porsche, Aston Martin, the point of that class is for stability in the fact of having an even field. So, right, you're going to have some cars that are going to have advantage in some parts of the track, some cars that will have advantages in the other part of the track, but ultimately they all should come together in a consistent lap time in a consistent manner. It's up to the drivers and the teams to use strategy, other resources. They have tires, even fuel sometimes. Use those strategies to help win you the race. It's not necessarily you have to be able to beat everybody and go faster. It obviously helps to have an extremely quick car that uses low drag coefficiencies and whatnot to help you, but ultimately it still comes down to you have to keep it within a specific parameter, and clearly Ferrari and Ford were faster than that. I mean, it's just, you can't deny, looking at all the overall deltas, you can't deny how much faster they were. So with the amount of information ACO had at this time, you had to roll them back at least. And I can give them blame for not realizing this earlier and having to do this at such late notice and basically throwing their hands up and saying, okay, we messed up and we have to scale it back. We should have had this done in test day. So I'll give them the blame for that, but I'm not going to blame them for actually nerfing some of the cars before the race, because it had to be done, because Ford and Ferrari were just going to completely walk away with it, and when it shouldn't have been that at all. That's not the case for these classes. So Hits for the Ferrari and Ford, buffs for the Aston Martin and Corvette. Porsche is kind of that, I don't know, just the main sample size. So that's the balance that they kind of want with the car. So
Porsche's like that middle child that gets ignored a lot.
Right, yeah. But is completely insane in the wet and on Michelin wets. So it should be interesting. It didn't get anything, but if it rains, the Porsches will be up front. So, I mean, unless the Fords somehow gain stability, which didn't seem like it because a lot of the Ford drivers were reporting I don't know how much of that was track conditions in qualifying and warm up, but they were not too pleased with some of their setups for the wet. So, anyway, man, I am talking a lot. So, but it sucks from a perspective of a race standpoint, especially from Formula One, because you have to think of it differently than Formula One. Formula One is based off of here's a set parameter that you have to set up a car. Either aerodynamics engineering, that kind of stuff, and design the fastest car in those specs. LMP1 is basically the same way, but GTE Pro is basically, hey, look, you're here to showcase your road car basically on the track, and it is more of a manufacturer playground where they're advertising as much as they're racing their product, and so with a class in that regard that's like that, you're gonna have these issues where Ford and Ferrari are faster. And again, I've seen some people put on chats too. It's just like, well, use that to your advantage for marketing. I mean, they built it within the regulations they were supposed to. They showed up with the regulations. They made a fast car with gearing. And they had to get nerfed by the governing body right before the race because they're too fast. Boom, there you go. I don't see a problem with that. Granted, you would rather have that 3-second advantage per lap almost in the race, but you still get advertising coverage. I don't know. It's this constant struggle between fighting against all the manufacturers that just want themselves to win every single race, regardless if they're fast or not. So that's just the only hang up on that. So, oh man.
Plus, if you end up not having BOP, you wind up not having a GT class because all of those cars naturally cannot compete against each other because
it turns into an arms race with the cost extending where nobody could actually pay for the cars itself.
Oh, that's usually how that works, and we saw that in GT1. You kind of see that in LMP1 too. If there was any room for privateers to compete at the same level of manufacturers, it's not going to happen. Audi and Porsche, if Toyota couldn't, if it turned into a fact of this is how much you have to spend in order to be competitive, and you had to spend $100 million, Toyota wouldn't even be in it. So you're talking about a class that if people kept to their a close budget in terms of the max budget, you're even pitching out manufacturers. So the diversity of GTE Pro is because of BOP. So if we wanted to just see Aston Martin and Porsche, that's probably all we would really see sometimes in terms of just that development. And again, you already have a... Okay, so it's just off. I don't know if we all rejoined. I guess we did. Sorry about that. Just kicked me off for whatever reason. So, but yeah. So I don't even know what we're talking about. What were we talking about?
BOP.
Oh, BOP. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's our rant for BOP. So I'm sure there's plenty of articles. SportsCar365.com. Shout out to John Daggs. Has an article for it there on their site. We'll talk about the IRC a little bit, so we'll move on from that. But I just wanted to preface that I didn't see any warm-up times. Was there anything of significance, or was it damp or dry?
Warm-up, we can't really tell of anything because there's a lot of slow zones and 2 red flags.
Okay. Interesting. Well, yeah. So, yeah, not a lot of information we can gather from that. So this is going to be a crapshoot. We'll just hope that whatever the ACOFI did was enough to curtail those Ferraris and Fords enough. I'm sure we'll see some advantages from other cars. I'm sure it's going to be a close race, and it might not even come down to overall pace anyway for that class. So we'll see. But yeah, so we've got, believe it or not, there's other classes that we're going to be covering today as well. We can start LMP2. We had a couple cars. Well, actually, about 7, I think, were sent to the back, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? I think there were 7. believe
Yes,
that's the
7.
case. Trying to get the actual count here for cars that are sent to the back.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up the starting grid for the race, and we can determine that directly from that.
So are we doing? We had a Road to Le Mans victory as well. That finished 2 hours ago, I think. And that was a Asian Le Mans Series team taking that victory. I don't know if I want to completely spoil it. I mean, I guess you could sort of see it again, but leave that open-ended. So didn't see the race, so I'm going to have to watch that actually after Le Mans 24. But okay, so we've got one LMP1, Bicole's going to the back. Looks like we've got 4 LMP2s, the SMP Racing 27, Pegasus Race, Antonio Garcia. All 3 of those failed to complete the prerequisite 5 laps at night. So
well, I think.
And someone is asking when the official stream goes up. It should be getting started within around 18 minutes.
Yeah, it usually goes up between a half hour and 15 minutes before the actual race starts. So it'll be up. Don't worry.
Last year was at about 15 minutes. So I don't know why they don't do 30 for Le Mans. Well, at least last year they didn't. They went up until 15 and then did it. So I just thought because it's Le Mans, you'd want to do more pre-race, but I'm not in the decision-making process of that. So, but yeah. So so it looks like, yeah, I mean, that shouldn't be that much of a problem. I mean, it looks like Garcia will probably get a lot of the early stints and then probably tomorrow day's stints. So Antonio's got a good time here at Le Mans. He doesn't have to drive at night, pretty much. So we'll see that. But it looks like the number 4 and 27. What?
Is it that he's just not going to be allowed to drive at night, or just that he didn't get those laps in? Because he's raced here at night many, many times in the past.
Well, I'm assuming those are compliance with the rules. Now, see, this is the...
Well, yeah, but how much of that was them just screwing up, and how much of that was the red flags inhibiting people from getting their laps in?
Oh, right. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming there'd be such a waiver or something like that. Well, it says... Well, I don't know. There we go. There's just nothing but confusion. Oh, is it just for the start of the race that they're not allowed to? Thank you, whoever said that in IRC. That actually sounds more correct than mine. Whatever. Okay, so we're spewing bad information. That's about as good as we're going to get. But, okay, so moving on from that, I wanted to quick recap some of the stuff that we got going on WEC. So usually if you have seen this, you're pretty much on IRC already. I don't think we've posted this anywhere other than IRC. So if you already are watching this, you already know pretty much everything you need to know. But for any of those people that are just randomly finding us and tuning in, we are this is a YouTube live stream of our main YouTube channel for RWC, Reddit subreddit for the World Endurance Championship and Le Mans. We have the official race thread is already up. We've got everything you pretty much need to know. We actually have a thread for that for Le Mans, done by Flood and by Sin. So thank you guys for that. That pretty much covers everything you need to know about the track and the race itself. We have a race thread that will, I believe it's already up on IRC, but that's got everything pretty much from track information, spotter's guide, qualifying, streaming, and television, live timing, social media, and links to all of our social sites. So the IRC thread is in there, as well as YouTube channel. And on the sidebar too, we've got podcasts, YouTube videos, that kind of stuff as well that you can view and browse as well. So a lot of the main points and that kind of stuff will be probably done in the official discussion, and we will be kind of linking some of the unique RWC events and contests, that kind of stuff in there. But a lot of those contests will be done in IRC. So check back with the discussion thread, and obviously stay in IRC for any up-to-date information. But that's where we will have the contests is in IRC. So, but first, before that, we have two ones. So we have a battle station thread that we have. So if you guys want to take a picture of your baddest asses, battle station, the bigger the better. The more screens, the more bright lights, the more multiple ways that you can have a seizure and a stroke, the better. I know we have probably some pretty good challenges from some of the teams out at Le Mans, but let's see what you got. We've got a thread in the official discussion for that, so post away. I'll be putting mine up. I'm sure Sind will do the same, and everybody else will be going. So that'd be fun. And secondly, we also have the annual, or I guess pretty much by race pick'em contest done by Syndrome, or started by Syndrome. So, Sind, you want to give us a little explanation for that?
Sure. So basically the way it works is that at 6 different points during the race, you predict what the top 3 in each class will be at that next predetermined point in the race. So like at the start, you predict what the running order will be 4 hours in, and 4 or 8 hours in, and then all the way up to 20 hours in the race, you pick the running order at the end. And basically, if you get a car correct, you get a point. If you get all 3 cars in class correct, you get a point. And then whoever has the most points at the end wins. And then that goes into a season-long total, and at the end, you get a special flare. And it's pretty cool.
We like special flares.
Yeah, it kind of helps people to learn how to watch the live timing, or like figure out how the strategies work, because anyone can watch the race, but you really got to look at the data, or like look at who's in what car when, to figure out who's going to be running in what position at some other time. So it's kind of a cool way to get people to pay a little more attention.
Oh yeah, it's and we've had a few winners, or at least power contenders for that throughout the races and races throughout the years. So there's definitely going to be some competition in there for sure. That was there's a few late lead changes, I think, for overall points in terms of that pick'em contest, which was kind of fun. So, and especially in this year, it's going to be just a crapshoot. Try to guess which one's going to be leading at each segment. So get your picks in early if you can for the start of the race, and then follow back in as the race progresses, and keep entering in those times to those predesignated spots. We'll be posting, I'm sure Sin will be posting in the official discussion and sometimes in the IRC to when some of those time slots are due. So just look out for those if you haven't done them already. So a lot of fun. We usually just try to participate as much as we can. Those are a lot of fun. And segueing from his flare thing, we usually do unique flares, and you'll see a few guys around here. I know one guy has a DP flare. A couple other ones have some Jägermeister, other Group C entries, privateer Porsche entries, basically. There's some unique flare from Group C days. So those are really cool. We might be handing those out. I basically have to grab the style sheet and see where all those are, so I can start handing them out again. So we will probably be doing that in the IRC. However, this year we're doing something a little bit different for our contests in terms of the main ones, is that I was graced to have a few friends of mine went to Le Mans last year and got me a bunch of random car stickers. I mean, like 20 or so. And I'm keeping a grand total of about 4 or 5 of them, just because I have no use for any of them else. So we will be doing giveaways for some car stickers, and they say everything about 2015 Le Mans, some just meme almost like ish sayings on them. They're pretty cool. It would be just a unique thing for anybody to have, and I only have so much space on my car for stickers, so we'll be doing that coming up. It'll just be just a kind of quiz thing. Just some factoids about Le Mans. First person to guess it gets it, and we'll get your name down. If we don't get to you during the race, we'll obviously get to you after. See if we can get that address for you, and I'll see, like, God, this is giveaway contest. Like, the last thing I need is like for a self post, be like, yeah, I was one of the guys that won one of those stickers back at Le Mans, and I still haven't received it. And then we're like apologizing. So we'll seriously get to you guys. We don't want to make any gaps like that, but anything in terms of pricing, I will work with you as best as I can. But if I'm shipping it across the world and it costs like $40 to ship like a freaking little sticker, then we're gonna have to like work something out here. So to the best of my ability, I will try to get you those stickers mailed to you. But yeah, that's going to be our main contest this year. You guys will like it a lot. I think it's going to be a blast. So make sure to join up on the IRC for that. And again, now segueing to the IRC, Pooh Man. There, I said it. Anyway, so we're also going to be doing. I don't know if also going to be doing. Yeah, I guess we will. Usually, IRC is known for late night gaffes or just everything. It gets wild and crazy. It's basically like Sebring Infield at night. So you guys are awesome for that. And every year we do some crazy stuff and expect nothing less this year. That's all I'm going to say. So you people in IRC, you take that as you will. You understand me?
Yeah, their Sky Active Hour will return.
We're saying that which shall not be spoken? Is that what...
I mean, yeah.
I mean, well, you mean Sky Inactive right now? Although, granted, that throwback livery for the... Is it Glenn? I think it's Watkins Glen. Is gorgeous. Holy God. That renowned livery is iconic. I just wish that they could just keep using that. So... But yeah, so we'll be doing that as well. We might do some Sky Active Flare for that too. We might just do it. It's becoming an RWC and USCR meme. I can't stop it from continuing over to RWC. It's just too good. So, and please save any and your best memes, your best creative artistic work. Please, I implore you to save it all for that hour because we will want all of it. That's all I'm saying. I've got quite a few that we can share for you soon, but they're too good. I have to wait. So it's just going to be a mess, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's later this afternoon, evening, Le Mans time. So once we get into the wee hours of the evening, look for the crazies to come out. So yeah, I think we're about I would say 10-15 minutes away still. So it's more of us talking. I'm sorry, but racing will begin shortly. This is a way just for me to cope, too, by the way. This is like an hour before this starts, and I am just unbelievably jumping up and down, ready for this to go. So, if I can talk for almost an hour straight and let the time go by, that's all the better. So, but yeah.
Hey, just imagine if we didn't know what we were talking about, right?
What's this racing thing? Oh, okay, right. So, and quick, yeah, I'll keep spitting. If you literally all this is just getting people up to date with information. So Sind or Lotta or anybody else, Q or Chris, if you guys can think of anything else, just spout in here. But any additional changes that are going on this year, for anybody that doesn't know, some on-track changes at Le Mans this year. There are additional 4 garage openings at the end of pit lane. And those are for basically 4 additional entries. So we have 60 cars this year instead of 56. We do have a Garage 56 entry, which is a LMP2 open-top car driven by 2 racing drivers and a quadriplegic. So really awesome to see that, especially that's not a normal piece of technology you kind of would have assumed would have shown up in the innovative garage in a way. So really cool there. In terms of your on-track viewing, all cameras seem to be about the same. The only different camera that you'll see around the track this year is going to be at the Porsche curves. They have modified and added an extra amount of sand trap at the end, at that sweeping right-hander in the Porsche curves. Added much more runoff because of Loic Duval's crash of 2 years ago, where he basically left the track and came back on with the Audi R18. So there's a little bit more runoff there, so the camera's a little bit pushed farther back, and I believe that's also where they have safer barriers. So that's really the only differences that you'll see. Oh, and let's see here. Arnage, too, was modified a little bit for actual, I don't know, traffic roundabout. So I don't think you'll see any like differences there. You just might not see as many trees. Oh, yeah, and then we also cut a bunch of trees down from the run from Mulsanne Corner to Indianapolis. So there you go. There's a little spotter guide for the track. But
that new area between Mulsanne and Arnage it's a way for spectators to actually see the cars come down one side and then leave on the other side, so you can actually see the entire complex now all at once.
Like running into Indy to Arnage, or are you talking like that back straight there?
Yeah, the back straight at the end of the big straight, all the way running down to Indianapolis. Now you can actually see the whole thing, depending on where you're standing.
So I take it we are we getting close to people getting on to, is RLM live right now? I think they might be.
Yes, they had the countdown on the green the same time we started ours.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay. Well, so I didn't even know we were competing. That's fun. Well, yeah, like I said, we'll probably RLM's got a little more experience, more resources, but we'll keep going until the official stream comes up. So we'll keep trying to give you guys. If you guys have any questions, start chatting. Start spamming them now. And I'm kind of running out of stuff to say. So, yeah, we're really excited. We're really looking forward to it. If you have any additional questions for us, the mods, don't hesitate to message us. If there is any content, anything like that might not be appropriate for the sub, just make sure to report it and message us. Everybody's been really on top of their game, and we've been pretty damn proud of the community so far. It's been top quality stuff from everybody, and we really do appreciate it. But let us know if there is anything we can help you with. Do remember as well that spoilers are lifted for this, because it will just be impossible to try to keep that under a wrap. So really no spoiler tags, no nothing, just post for karma. Just karma horn.
Well, you should still use the flare that we have, the link flare option, but it doesn't
right, yeah, okay, yeah.
Anymore.
But yeah, that's basically what we're getting at. So if you want to try to avoid spoilers, I sit under a rock. I don't know what else we can do. But quickly.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, Flood.
Flood!
We finally got Flood in here. Wait, I thought you were going to miss the start.
I'm just here to start recording the stream.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, Kiwi, we are just doing this for Le Mans. The next round, I believe Germany is going, or is it Austin? Whatever the next round is going to be. It's going to be back to normal spoiler rules. Question from J.R. Dingo. We have got to get us some, let's see, favorite moments from past Le Mans, guys.
Was it 2009 when all the Peugeots just crapped out and the Audis? Or was it that 2010? And the Audis came back? That was pretty astonishing.
That was surprising, that's for sure. 2011 was probably the most exciting finish in just race in general, with both Audis having spectacular crashes and the third Audi coming through to take the win. While trying to fight off the two Peugeots. And obviously, how can you deny the 1991 overall victory of Mazda? 1982 first Porsche victory for Group C. 1970 Porsche 917. 1960. I mean, basically, any era. Which one do you want? Is 1955 for obvious reasons. So yeah, those are pretty
I actually really enjoyed the 2014 race. That was my first IRC race, and the drama, especially late in the race, with the Porsche leading and falling apart. The LMP2 Oak-driven, Alex Brundle-driven car leading into the last hour and then breaking down on the Mulsanne straight. That was also a very, very big moment. That was probably my favorite race.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Go ahead, Tim.
It's kind of hard to pick like any one race to be the best, but like probably like the most depressing thing I've ever seen, where like there was an okay ending to it, was Paul Dalawana crashing with 45 minutes remaining after leading essentially the entire race in GTM last year. That was kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say that the 2014 race probably would have been a lot more exciting in terms of just the overall finish if it wasn't Audi winning, to be honest. I mean, you had the storylines of Toyota potentially winning for the first time ever after trying so many times, and then having both cars basically one crash out in a way, or get out of contention from a crash, and then the other one basically have a freaking regulatory device from the ACO that just caught on fire and ruined the race. And then you had Porsche, who was basically looking at their first time back ever, almost taking the win. And then Audi basically coming through.
Stream's live.
Is it live? Okay. But, so I think that would have put a damper on it slightly. But outside of that was an awesome race. I will agree with that. So
I can't get into the official stream. That annoys me.
Yeah, mine's not live yet.
Well,
some delays
for some others, but this is pretty much typical with RWC. This is pretty typical.
Yep, now it's up. I can get in now.
All right, guys.
Cool. Well, I think that's it from us then.
we try to make it quick and concise. Yep.
Leave Radio Le Mans, Eurosport, or the official stream commentators. Those will be your audio. Of course, Radio Le Mans is the most preferred.
Right. There are different preferences for different streams, guys. So we're gonna do just quickly before we end here. So there are static cams in garages. There are onboard cameras from the teams themselves. There are Eurosport streams as well as the main WC stream, as well as Radio Le Mans streams. So through different combinations of different streams, you can kind of sync up on-track sounds with different commentators if you prefer one. We're big fans of RLM, so we want to sync that up as well. So if you have any questions about how to do that, I'm sure there will be a ton of other people that are looking to do the same thing. Ask those in the IRC or the official discussion post as well. Make sure to just kind of look to and browse, see if there's anybody that is also asking those kind of questions, and just upvote them. Let's just get them to the top instead of just having a bunch of people asking the same questions as well. So,
and just another thing,
yeah.
We've got live timing from both the official app, but if you want a better live timing stream, our good friends at Ford, who have been in contact with us, have actually set up a live timing screen of the, a live stream of the live timing screen that they get at the track, which includes sector times and all those sort of wonderful things. So if you're desperately into that, like I know I will be, set that up as well. That's in the race discussion post, and is also as a choosable screen on the Ford screens.
That is awesome. Current conditions, it's raining. It's raining. It's gonna be.
And also,
Always rains at Le Mans.
it always rains at Le Mans. And also, I have to go, so I'll see you guys in about 4 hours.
All right, guys. Take care. We're gonna transition over to the IRC and whatnot. We might be doing some other stuff in terms of kind of opening it up for some a chat room for audio and mics and stuff like that. So we might actually be doing that as well. So look for potentially doing that later on this afternoon, if possible. We'll give that a shot too. We're going to try to see if we can get any other fan interaction that we can here in RWC. But other than that, thanks guys for listening and watching. Should be a lot of fun, and we'll see you in 24 hours.
Bye.
See you later, everyone. Enjoy the race.